Today I took 4 trades, 2 losers, 1 break-even, and 1 winner. These 3 were on the same setup. This was actually a continuation of this after I stopped out of break-even, or stopped out of the trade at break-even. And this one was a bit of a FOMO entry. Impatient with that one and entered early. Today, high relationship on TPO and kind of in a little bit of a choppy bullish trend. CPR was also higher. So bullish relationships all across, overlapping higher on cams. Bullish trend, bullish relationships, but today's open was under value area low RTH and ETH, and under L3 and under CPR. So although the trend was bullish, I really like this level here from 75.99 to about 7600 because it was a CPR. Also value area low on RTH and ETH and L3. So I thought there was a lot of confidence there. That was a good level to short. If not, and it comes over here, well, I want to short that and target this demand zone here, which is also a high volume node. But if not, if I don't catch that or that doesn't happen, then I would like to long here at S1 because we are in a bullish trend. Longs at S1, which was also demand zone from 2 days ago here. And then it was also a high volume node ledge and low volume node zone. So here we're in this little high volume node here. There is a low volume node zone, and that was an area that I wanted to long all the way up to, eventually the other side of that high volume node ledge. But yeah, I thought that was also great confluence and good levels here. So I wanted to long this area or short this area, and I was pretty confident in my plan today. And it did work out, both my short and long. So it opens slightly above a value area low, but that's fine. It rallies into CPR and value area low ETH and L3 here, and I start looking for shorts. And I don't really get that much, honestly. So it goes up to about 76.04, which was POC, I guess, at RTH. But yeah, it goes up there into CPR, kind of forms a P shape. I wasn't too sure about that one, and starts selling off. But it's selling off with just a bunch of aggressive buyers or sellers here. So it's forming a bullish delta divergence here, and delta divergence bullish on the 20 range also. This is the test that I want, right? But I don't know. There's just a bunch of sellers coming in. And that's usually not what I look for in my confirmations. And so yeah, it did reject kind of a P shape, I guess, and came back up and now rejecting again. But I don't know. It was just not the usual confirmations I look for, and I was hesitating. Although it did look really good. So I really want to short when it started breaking under here. About 7600, I wanted to short here with the stop at 7605. But yeah, I just wasn't too confident with just a whole bunch of sellers coming in. Like, I just didn't have any of the confirmations I usually look for, and actually looked pretty bullish, where a pullback could be bought. So I hesitated because I really don't have any confirmations. And I really wanted to enter, but I was like, I just can't because I don't have my usual confirmations I look for. There's no signs of absorption, which is what I usually look for. And so I just let it go, and it sells off, and I'm like, I have so much FOMO right now. One, because I think it was a great level, and also I had this hidden divergence here. So the RSI was here, breaking above, or at least at the same level as here, but it's nowhere near these highs. So there was a hidden RSI divergence, and even here I wanted to take it, but I was like, look, I need better confirmations, and I'm trying to stay patient today, especially because I went on tilt yesterday, trying to be very patient and not enter anything on FOMO. But man, it was so hard watching this sell off. I just wanted to jump in, and I was like, I cannot make the same mistake as I did yesterday. So now it's selling off. It's heading towards my target at S1, 75.82 or so. This was also a good level because it was the high volume node ledge, low volume node zone, and demand zone, and also S1. And I had like to long S1 on bullish trends, right? So now I switched my focus. It already sold off a lot. It's heading towards my target, so I decided to look for longs now because that's also in my plan. Except when it did pull back, I wanted to see if I could short this as a continuation, but I was kind of getting something. Delta divergence maybe, but very quickly sold off. Didn't really give me a chance to enter here. And yeah, that was pretty much it. So I give up on shorts here and start looking for longs. And what happens here is that a bunch of buyers come in. Delta divergence forms on the 2-minute and on the 20 range. A bunch of buying imbalances come in. I really like these confirmations. CVD hidden divergence here. 1-minute delta divergence. So I liked it. It wasn't quite at my level. It hit 84, which was up here, which is very near the low volume node zone, but it's not exact. So I decided to give it, a little bit of a buffer. But also it was at L4, and I guess that kind of counts as a level. I don't know. I think this was more on FOMO. And I get stopped out here. Luckily I only took it on one contract, but I don't know. I thought it was decent. It obviously didn't close as a delta divergence, but that was a delta divergence there. Maybe I should have waited for the retest, but yeah, I think this was just a kind of a FOMO entry. I just don't want to miss out. After I missed out on the shorts is what I'm thinking, right? After I missed out on the shorts, I don't want to miss out on the longs also. So I just kind of jumped in. I thought it was decent confirmations at the time I entered, but it wasn't. Didn't end up that way. So that was my first trade, and then second trade, it actually comes into demand zone now in the low volume node zone. I see even better confirmations now. I see this flirting with delta divergence on the 20 range, a big one too, negative 500, but positive candle. 2-minute flirting with a delta divergence, negative 300, but positive candle. Also 1-minute delta divergence here, another one from before. And the CVD hidden divergence also. Also, it broke these lows here on price, but RSI, it did not break it, so it was a delta divergence, or RSI divergence, normal divergence. And this 2-minute closes as a delta divergence also. Forms a B shape. Enter with 2 contracts here. And it even comes back to test the B shape, and it actually holds and goes back up. So I thought it was going to be good. I honestly thought these were great confirmations. Another delta divergence formed here. And look at this delta going down. 2 delta divergences in a row on 1 minute. I mean, I honestly thought this was good. Like, I even thought about adding another contract here, but just couldn't sustain above and stopped me out. I can't blame myself for this one. I thought it was a good setup. I had good confirmations. It was at my level. So, yeah. I was still pretty confident in this, so I took another trade as it comes down into the demand zone even further. Still RSI divergence. And this time, I honestly think this time it was less great of confirmations than my previous trade here. But, I mean, this is the one that worked out, I guess. And so it forms a B shape here. Very nice B shape. You can see on the 20 range. A very nice B shape with the POC at the lows. And I'm 20 range delta divergence also forms, barely. And then also CVD hidden divergence as this goes and breaks the lows. So what I really wanted here was a retest of this B shape and then a bounce. So that's what currently what I'm looking for, especially because paired with all these other signs that I got, the bullish signals I got before, I wasn't opposed to taking it just right off the bat here. And what happens is that it comes back and retests here. So like the B shape is, let's see, about 78, 79 area. So I'm looking at 78, 79 to test, retest. It comes down and then goes back up. So I enter 2 contracts here, stop below the lows. 1 minute delta divergence also finished forming. And I thought this was also a good setup, good entry. And then buying imbalances come in, and I like that. And things are looking pretty good so far. But it goes into that level that it rejected previously here on my last trade, and then it starts rejecting again. But I think it eventually clears. Not quite. So it breaks above and forms this huge delta divergence on the 20 range and on the 2 minute. And now I was 1 tick away from 2R, so I don't know if I want to put my stop at break even quite yet, but I saw this delta divergence here and here and decided to protect myself because it was 1 tick away and put my stop at break even. But I was a little bit worried because look, it hasn't formed a higher low yet, but I feel like I have to protect myself here because my 3rd attempt at this, and this is, I said this is freaking me out. So again, it goes up to that same area, starts rejecting. I put my stop at break even and I stop out at break even, but I am still looking at a potential higher low here. So if it does form a higher low, I said I wouldn't mind getting in again. And it seemed like it was forming a B shape here, a bunch of sellers getting trapped here. Again, forming a 20 range delta divergence here, about negative 300, but positive candle. B shapes forms, and yeah, oh, and then this was the best sign for me because as it comes down, it didn't break the lows yet, but delta is breaking the lows. So it was a nice CVD hidden divergence there. Delta divergence on the 20 range, B shape. So I enter with 2 contracts again with the stop under here on that potential higher low. And yeah, I thought it was great confirmations too. So B shape there, POC at the lows, 20 range delta divergence, CVD hidden divergence. I liked it. Yeah, even if I took a loss on it, I think I would have still liked it. I thought it was a decent chance to go about it, especially because buying imbalances came in here, kind of rallied up. So there was proof that it was, there was bullish sentiment. So I honestly think I'm getting stopped out here. I was like, this sucks. My trading sucks. Everything sucks. But that B shape holds once more. And then it starts rallying up. So I like it now. 94.25 was my 2R. Seems like it's forming kind of a B shape or P shape here. And I think about moving my stop to break even, but eventually breaks out. And yeah, hits my 2R. And now I'm okay with putting my stop at break even because it already formed a higher low on this trend. And yeah, my target was 7,600, which was about 3R, and that was kind of in this supply zone from that was created from the sell-off this morning. And then further on, it was high of day at 7,604, but it does hit 7,600, and then I get a little bit greedy here, and I say that I'm going to trail the last contract using 3-minute candles here. So I was just trailing it, having it at the lows here on the previous 3-minute candle. And even if it did hit 7,604, I didn't take it off. So I probably should have gone about 4 more points over here, but I didn't and stopped out at 7,600 on this little dip over here. And then it proceeds to rally. And so, I don't know, I might have caught in about 7,608, but didn't get that. And basically got 2 contracts all off at 7,600, which isn't bad, but I could have got, what, 4 more points out of it? Because my second target was 7604. But yeah, a little bit greed playing there. But not a bad win either way.